So I got the original instrument cluster back in this truck. Gear shift indicator indicating park right now, and it's in park. It's only been running for a few minutes. Different odometer reading. There is a module on the back of the instrument cluster that is remote keyless entry that needs to be swapped. So I swapped that from, put his original one in there for the key fobs to work, I would imagine. The only thing I see wrong with this cluster is the illumination over by the temperature gauge is possibly out. So we're going to maybe take it out again and have a look at the bulbs. Looks like the bulbs are replaceable. Well, just got back from a road test with this truck. Just drove it about 28 kilometers at highway speeds, and transmission worked flawlessly. Gear shift indicator never deviated from its indicated position of drive. I do have the lamp out message. I got a problem with the left low beam headlight, so that message comes and goes, but the service four-wheel drive message is gone because this is the correct instrument cluster for this vehicle. The Prundle voltage never deviated off of 1.88 volts in drive. Here's second, 1.22. Here's low, 0.61. Second, drive, neutral, reverse, and park. So that instrument cluster was failing. I don't know why this original instrument cluster was replaced. The customer can't remember. I did change out a couple of backlight bulbs from the used cluster, and so all the illumination works in the back now. But aside from that, all the gauges seem to work just fine. Temperature gauge, oil pressure gauge, fuel level gauge, voltmeter, tach, speedo, so I'm not sure. We still have to address the rear wheel speed sensor, harness wires are compromised, and of course this left low beam headlight issue. But it appears the transmission problem was caused by a defective instrument cluster. So, maybe I spoke too soon. I noticed I went to check for codes in this original instrument cluster. We have an ABS indicator output circuit code and a brake LED output circuit code. I wonder if somebody has physically removed the bulbs from that thing, because if I turn the key off and back on, of course we should get a brake warning light and an ABS indicator light, and we don't get those. So I think somebody's removed the bulbs from this instrument cluster, and that may be why it was changed, because the brake warning light has to do a prove out for an has to prove out. In other words, come on, go through its self-check and go out in order to pass the safety check. So maybe that's why this instrument cluster was replaced.